So there are runaway buffs on the public test branch of Darkest Dungeon 2. I don't know how to get to it on Epic, but if you do want to get to it on Steam, all you have to do, right click Darkest Dungeon, do properties, betas, going to say none, and you just have to opt into the coming in hot experimental build. So keep in mind, it's not recommended to bounce back and forth between the live build and the experimental build because there's a chance that your save files could corrupt or get deleted. So if you do switch to the experimental build, you probably either want to stay on it or back up your files. The experimental build is never super different. It's usually only like maybe one patch ahead as far as like balancing goes. So these are the entire patch notes right here. They are in the description if you want to look at them, but like I said, this is all it is. So the main changes are with the Runaway. Runaway can no longer hit the 1 rank, but it can hit the 4 rank now. So it changed from 1, 2, 3 to 2, 3, 4. I mean, that adds up with the rest of the pulls in the game. The rest of the pulls can't hit the 1 rank anyways because there's no point. So to be able to hit in the 4 rank, it can compete with Demon's Pull from the Occultist and Echoing March from the Jester now as far as pull abilities to have. So that's nice. Run and Hide and Hearthlight actually have some more use now. So Run and Hide now grants 3 regen, which also will work with the healing over time from Survivor. So Survivor gets a small buff from this too. Run and Hide is now considered a healing skill, and when you master Run and Hide now, it clears all bleed, bite, and burn on you, so that's nice. It gives her a little bit of a self-reliance, and if you're running Arsonist, this will at least be able to offset the burn that she gets in case you do need it to, and it stealths her. So Hearthlight is the main big change. Hearthlight now ignores dodge, so this explains it here. It removes a single dodge token, similar to other ignore type skills, so it's not something like Vulnerability Hex that gets rid of all dodges. It will just ignore a dodge and use up the token. And Hearthlight Plus, which I assume works with the trinket that also does the same thing. But when you master Hearthlight, it now has a 25% chance of applying combo on each target. So Hearthlight has a legitimate purpose now, basically, instead of just AoE to get rid of stuff. So Hearthlight is nice now to be able to combo off of Hearthlight, and now not have that be gated behind a trinket. Pretty good. Are either of these skills worth using? I mean, it depends. You know, it depends on how you're going. It's always nice to have some sort of AoE like this, like Hearthlight, Magnesium Rain, Bellow, because it does work with like Dead Ringer that has a 15% chance of dazing on hit, or something like Distracting Dust, which is the same thing, 15% chance to blind. So it is always nice to just have in general, obviously, to be able to, sometimes if you're going into the creature den, you have a bunch of spiders, it's nice to be able to get rid of dodge from everybody. So it's worth having. This is a nice conservative buff to her. So you worry about if you were to like buff her burn, buff like Searing Strike, burn on that she can get really out of hand. Something like this. It's a nice little, essentially is a quality of life buff. It adds a little bit of depth to her, to now you can run and hide, and you can run Hearthlight without it being an absolute meme. I would say, I still think, at least for me, as far as being fun to play, I would say that the Runaway's issue is still that she doesn't have anything intrinsically in her build or in her skills or anything that or in her paths that do anything with stealth. So something like Run and Hide is a little bit weird because it's stealths her, but why? She does have her signature in item, which frankly is nuts. And she does have, she does stuff on stealth with trinkets, but it's just, for me, it's a little weird to have anything stealth-wise have it be gated behind praying that you get that in item, or praying that you get those trinkets. But overall, I do think the Runaway is underutilized. I think I'm a bigger fan of her than the average Darkest Dungeon player. The average Darkest Dungeon player, I think, really doesn't like her at all. But I think she does have more use. Something like Orphan, and put her in the back and just get a ton of burn. You can't use controlled burn back there, so it cucks your DPS a little bit, blah blah blah. But overall, I think the Runaway is less bad than other people say. And I think either way, this is a really, really nice utilization to make Ransack, which is a good ability, even better. Run and Hide is usable now, and Hearthlight is usable. So it's a step in the right direction. Nice conservative buff. Like I said, she's not going to get out of hand, but she's going to have some quality of life stuff for people that do want to use her. So I'll be slowly kind of testing her out on stream. along with still testing out the Duelist, still testing out the Crusader, just seeing how all of them feel, blah, blah, blah. Either way, I appreciate you guys for watching. I stream every day. My link for that will be in the description. I appreciate you guys being here, and I hope you have a nice rest of your day.